Hello, everybody, and welcome to the, fourth official episode of Podcast Period, the internet's worst podcast. I'm your host, Ben, and with me today is my usual co-host, David. I guess you're not saying anything, David. Thanks for that awkward pause.
I just wanted to see what you would do, spice things up a bit.
Wow.
Hey, guys.
And David has brought along a friend, Patrick.
Hey, guys.
Well, we're just going to do our awkward pauses today. And you guys can't do nothing about it.
I'll edit it out. I'll make me look less stupid. Anyway, we are all here to talk about... We are all here to talk about...
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
No.
All right.
I don't care.
All right.
Anyway, sorry.
We're
here to talk about the new hit superhero movie, Captain Marvel, that we all went to go see, what was it, last Sunday?
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, I don't really know where to start with it, but I'll give my impressions of the movie, and then we can continue on with whichever one of you two wants to go next. So, like I said, we went to go see it on Sunday, fairly late at night, but honestly, it didn't really change the tone or anything of the movie, at least not for me. I felt pretty engaged throughout, actually, mostly because I wasn't tired, thankfully, but it was a good movie. I'm not going to say it's like my favorite movie of 2019 or anything, because that's probably going to go to the Avengers movie. But despite what all of the trolls and whatnot have been saying, it is a very, very good movie. It's definitely worth going to see before the new Avengers movie comes out. Especially considering she's going to be in the new Avengers movie.
Yes.
Oh, it's going to be a fun one to watch. That's definitely my my go-to want to see this year.
Oh, did you see the trailer that dropped yesterday?
The one where they have the like really spooky, eerie shots of like New York City and all
the
that.
one with them wearing the white suits at the end.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Yep.
When's this
That got me
coming out?
so hyped.
Sometime in April, I think.
Huh.
Yeah,
I
it's
have not heard
April
about
26th, I think.
Huh. Interesting.
So yeah, it was a fairly decent movie. It's I feel like it's more reminiscent of the first Marvel movies to come out, like Iron Man and Captain America and whatnot. It's definitely not the same type of origin story that they were telling with Black Panther, but I think these two movies were trying to accomplish two completely different things with that, especially considering Black Panther isn't in the next Avengers movie. As far as I know, anyway.
Well, we don't know who's going to be in that movie. I mean, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Infinity War, well, that's all on you at this point. Everybody's gone, basically. Who's left? Spider-Man's gone. Black Panther's gone.
All of the original Avengers are still there. So we've got Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Hulk, and Black Widow, and Hawkeye. But Hawkeye wasn't in the last movie anyway. So, and then a couple of the newcomers are still there, like
Rocket.
Nebula and Rocket, yeah. And I can't remember her name from like the actual movie, but like Black Panther's security guard lady.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I don't know her name either.
But yeah, basically like everybody's gone. Although we do know that Spider-Man and all the Guardians of the Galaxy are coming back because they've already announced sequels to those movies. So good on you, Disney. Thanks for that. So yeah, what did you guys think?
Let's see. It was an okay origin story to me. There was a lot that I looked for to try to like explain things that might happen in game and future movies. I honestly didn't see much of any indication whatsoever as to what could possibly happen in game. So like the only thing that they gave away is her extreme powers. That's it. Like, how does that solve anything that they're facing going into in-game? So, anybody looking for like explanations or clues as to what will happen in in-game and how they're gonna fix all this if they can, I don't see it. Not in that movie. I don't.
Well, that's the thing with it being an origin story and the fact that it's set in the 90s. You got like, what, a 20, 30, it's like 20, 25 year gap between
I think it's
the end of this
95.
movie.
95 is when the movie is based, because
So
she
it's
crashed in
24 years.
89 and she was gone 6 years. So 95
So 24
to
years.
24 years. Yeah.
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 24
yeah,
years.
just take our ages, duh. For us born in 95, it's only him.
Yeah,
Who?
just me.
Ben.
Oh.
Both of us in 94.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ben.
It was early 95, so can't feel too bad for me. Anyway,
I'm just...
so yeah, there's like 25 years between the end of this movie and the beginning of Endgame. So God only knows what she's like figured out that she can do.
Yeah, she's probably got a lot more powers. That's what they'll... Probably in the next movie.
Well, I mean, she's got 25 years to hone her craft, so something is going to come up.
And I know in the comics she has, and I'm not like super duper experienced with her in the comics, but I do know that she has like some control over like time and space. So I don't know if they're going to factor that into the movie or not, but I think that's part of the reason why they saved her so late into the game.
Probably.
I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. But what did you think, Patrick?
It was pretty good.
You're not big into superhero movies, are you?
I'm not caught up into all the superheroes.
See,
So
I wasn't until
It's
Ben dragged me into it, and now I've watched enough of them. Like I knew kind of what was going on, but I was asking Ben questions left and right, and then he was like, "Who's this person again?" Like forgive me, didn't even recognize freaking Fury. Like, good God, because I haven't seen any of the earlier Avengers movies that he's in, like Captain America.
oh, you haven't seen those?
Winter Soldier, or
I watched
what
those.
was he in Age of Ultron too, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
See, I haven't seen those.
I didn't see that one.
So I'm kind of lost sometimes until I get an idea of what's going on. One big question I have, something that we can discuss. If Fury has had this pager all this time, why on God's green earth has he not used it before?
Well,
there
she did
must
say
be
it's
a huge set of circumstances that he's following or something in order to not use this before.
I'm pretty sure she said not to use it unless there was like something
was like
extremely drastic, you know?
Yeah, that's what I remember her telling him.
Did she give him instructions?
Well, she didn't.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, just in
I
case
guess
of
I
like
missed
a 911.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
That's all she
I
said.
guess there's no bigger 911 in the Marvel universe than there is right now. So.
Yeah, exactly. The only reason he didn't use it before was because the Avengers took care of everything before that. They took care of Loki when he was bringing in all that crap, and then Ultron. This was the only thing that they couldn't take care of.
Yeah, I guess that would make sense considering that was his baby, the Avengers initiative.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now wasn't that that pager like just a regular old pager, and then she did something to it?
Yeah, she... What... Do you know what that thing was? That communications device that she modified it with? Or
No,
it was the thing that she had in her forearm, like the whole movie or something like that.
Yeah, she probably just like hot glued something to it. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell, honestly.
Oh,
She just it looks like she just upgraded it to basically only be able to page her wherever she was.
after she strictly tells him you can't be trusted with this.
Yeah.
Well, that's basically what it came to down in the end. Like when those people found the pager and she just showed up
Yeah.
towards the end.
Well, fear, because you haven't seen Infinity War, have you?
I have not.
Okay, so Fury, the guy that got his eye scratched out, realized what was happening at the very end of Infinity War.
Like after the credits were rolling. This was like the after credits scene.
Exactly. So he realized something, because he doesn't know the full extent of it, but as the after credits scene was going, they had mentioned the energy signature is like 10 times more powerful than the attack on New York. And they can't find Stark anywheres. And when he starts seeing everybody turn to dust, that's when he sends out the emergency all call, I guess you would call it. Shortly before he turns to dust. Like, he's turning to dust as he's sending this thing out, isn't he?
Yeah.
Isn't that how it goes? So
Yeah. The only thing I don't know is how they made the connection from that pager to Nick Fury, because if he turned to dust and he like dropped the thing on the ground, there was like no marking that would be his.
Yeah, that's a good point. So how did the rest of the team know any importance of that thing? And did anybody that was with Nick survive? In the car, that the woman he was talking to, did she survive that? Or did they show it?
No, she turned to dust like immediately before he did.
Huh. Do you think maybe they knew about it the whole time,
Well, considering the fact that they don't know what's happening with it, I don't think they knew about it. Yeah.
Because in the trailer they didn't even know why it stopped working. Like, they were all panicking for a quick minute.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they'll explain that. Maybe they won't. It's honestly not like that big of a deal, but it's like it doesn't fit together in my head very well.
No, it doesn't. It's a small plot hole, but nonetheless, I really liked how they kept you guessing the whole movie as to who or what you could trust.
Yeah, that was. I could see that.
The only reason I was skeptical about the Skrulls being the actual victim was the fact that in the comics they're portrayed as like this evil race that is actually trying to take over every planet they come across.
Okay. So they kind of changed it up a little bit for the MCU.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I definitely think was the right move. Because I had no idea what was going on that entire time.
Well, they'd have to kind of piece together something to explain her absence for the last... How many years has the Avengers been a thing?
Let's see. When was the first Avengers movie? Like 2010, 2009?
I think it's 2009.
Like 10 years? Something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
I mean, Stark's whole startup stuff and his whole beginnings as Iron Man was set around the mid 2000s, like late 2000s.
That was like 2007, I want to say.
So just
maybe even a little bit later than that. Yeah. First Avengers movie was actually 2012.
Oh.
Yeah, May 4th, 2012.
Jeez.
Wow.
Been a long time.
Iron Man was 2008.
I remember reading about Iron Man in 7th grade.
Yeah.
I can't remember why. It was in some magazine or something I was reading in reading class. It was reviews for Iron Man. It's like, this looks really good. And I never saw it.
And then you never watched it.
Nope. Still haven't to this day. It was on the other night, but I fell asleep, so oh well.
You'll watch it eventually. It's not like it's exactly like central to this next movie anyway. You know who Iron Man is at this point.
Yeah.
So
I would hope at least.
yeah, for real.
He doesn't.
So what else? What else did they have going on in that movie that was really fun?
Well, the whole cat thing was hilarious.
That cat.
The flirkin or whatever. That was hilarious. I loved that.
At first, I didn't think there was anything to it. I thought they were just like misidentifying the cat, and they all seemed so positive that this cat was a dangerous species, and the guy scans it and it goes, "Flirkin, danger level extremely high," and then he goes and scans poor Fury, and he goes, "Human male, danger level 0 to none," or something like that. It's like, what the heck is going on? And then shortly thereafter, this thing's just got like 50,000 like tentacles coming out of its mouth. It's like, oh, this isn't a regular cat after all.
No,
That thing is dangerous.
It's an alien cat.
That thing has got like a pocket dimension in its stomach or something like that.
I think it's supposed to be in its cheeks.
Really?
Yeah,
Huh. That's so weird.
it is weird. Like, what is going on with this thing?
I like how it just took the blue light. What was it?
The Tesseract.
Yeah, the
Tesseract, yeah. Mm-hmm.
and just swallowed it. Like, what the hell?
Delicious.
Yeah.
Yum. The cat got me going there for a quick second too, and when Fury is holding it up to what were supposed to be the security guards, and it turned out to be the Skrull just in disguise, and the cat didn't attack him, and Fury's like, "Would you pick a side already?"
Yeah.
Because I thought the cat was sure was going to go ahead and eat them, and it didn't do anything. It's like, what, is the cat full now? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, I was like, okay.
I was like, oh, good. The cat's a better sense of judgment than I have, because I didn't think it was anybody who was good. They had you spinning heads and tails in that movie. Who's what? Who can you trust and who can you not?
Oh, they had you going back and forth.
They really did.
Yeah, the plot was definitely a strong point in this movie, I think.
Yeah.
Although the beginning was definitely extremely confusing until they finally put everything together. I was like, "What is going on?
Yeah,
I don't understand what's happening."
When they had all the when the Skrull were using that, I guess it was a memory machine or something like that. I don't know what they called it. I don't care. Going back through all her memories, trying to find out what's going on, I thought, well, what did the what's her species name, or
the blue people?
Yeah.
It's I'm pretty sure it's the Krill.
Krill,
I think.
Yeah, I
something
think
like
it's...
that. Well, anyways, I
Krill.
thought, well, what they do? Did they send her on a secret mission and like totally like masked all her memories or something like that? It's like, how does she have these memories of being on Earth as a child, and then all the combat pilot stuff and all that? It's like, what is going on? I'm so confused. No idea that was actually her life. And it's like, oh, okay, well, it makes sense now. But it took a while. That was what, half hour into the movie before it finally started piecing together
Yeah, something
different
like that.
things. It's like, because you made the comment, I think this is going to be like a flashback throughout the whole movie. It's like, okay, and then it turned out not to be, and it's like, what's going on? Totally lost.
Yeah, it's really confusing starting off.
At least they eventually pieced it together.
Yes.
That's the one good thing I can say about that. It makes sense at the end.
Yeah.
All right, so speaking of the cat, Patrick found an interesting tidbit of information. Why don't you go ahead and share that one real quick?
Well, while she was training for this movie, she didn't know there was going to be a cat. Well, she's severely allergic to cats.
So half the movie's got a cat in it, and your main actor.
Oh yeah,
is
the
allergic
actor.
to cats.
Yes. Yeah.
Could
Larson.
have told her that.
Well, she didn't know.
Yeah, she didn't know, so she was like, "Oh wait, I can't have a cat."
And I'm pretty sure the script probably wouldn't have made that extremely obvious that this like little animal thing was going to be a cat.
No. That was just weird. So they got like the fact that they tried to keep her separate. Looks like the name of the cat was Reggie.
Yeah.
Oh, Reggie.
Tried to keep them separate as much as possible.
I can't say that I blame them at all. No, I don't think they need their main actress dying of like a seizure during filming.
But
all right, so I think that's pretty much everything we have to say, unless you guys have something else to say on the movie.
I don't know. Would recommend go see it. It's
yes,
really
definitely.
it is. It's really good. And
Yeah.
there's one thing that I also saw. She actually took more time training for this role. She took 9 months
Wow.
of training.
Like for the stunts and stuff like that?
Yes.
Jeez.
Wow.
Good job, Brie. No wonder she was so good in that.
Well, she may have been filming. She's probably training so hard because Avengers Endgame is coming out like a month after this movie did, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
they were probably filming it right around the same time.
Yep.
I wonder how that goes. I wonder what the production schedule for stuff like that, because obviously the rest of the cast and crew is probably not there. We already know that Fury didn't make it past the snap, and is there really anybody else in that movie that would have any right to be there besides Brie and Captain Marvel? I don't think anybody else would be. So I wonder how that type of stuff goes. I wonder how they schedule around production for their movies that come out straight before a next one is an introduction movie, and then like a month later the big one is coming out. Like same thing with Black Panther and Infinity War. I wonder how that works.
Well, they probably have a pretty long scheduled shooting time for at least the larger movie.
Yeah. Well, they got the budget for it. Goodness.
Yeah, you're not kidding. Jeez.
They're not short money, that's for sure.
They made $435 million opening weekend on Captain Marvel.
Wow.
It's internationally, but still,
That's a lot
$455 million.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, it was expected to make internationally, I think, 150.
Oh, wow.
And it hit 150 domestically.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Kind of selling themselves short a little bit there, wasn't they?
For real. Well, I think it was probably like I wasn't planning to go see this before Endgame. I was going to be like, well, maybe I'll just read like a Cliff Notes version of it and then go see Endgame, but
Yeah.
I think partially because of all the controversy surrounding the movie, it got not necessarily the hype, but people's want to go see this movie up more than it normally would have been.
Yeah.
And they
Possibly.
did a good job. I liked it.
Yeah.
I really liked it. But I'm with you. I don't know if I would have gone seen it. In fact, I don't think we would have seen it had it not been for you having a small little accident there.
Yeah.
Because that's the only reason why we went to go see this, is because we scheduled on weekends we was going to see a movie, and it's like, oh, well, by the time we get to go watch something, Captain Marvel will be out. Why don't we just do that one instead?
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, so that's definitely would go see, would recommend. But speaking of the controversy, I kind of want to touch a little bit on that. I've got a Twitter thread and an article that I actually linked to you, David, mostly because I didn't know how else to get it off my phone. But it's in our original Discord thread if you want to take a look at it real quick. But I'm going to start with the Twitter thread from this guy called Dr. Nerdlove. It's a Twitter thread specifically about the quote-unquote controversy surrounding this movie. And he states that the controversy is that A, the movie is man-hating in general, and B, emasculates Fury in particular. Blah, 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 blah. So it starts with the Nick Fury in Captain Marvel isn't the scarred, war-weary badass that we see starting in Iron Man. Which isn't surprising because, hey, this is a freaking origin story, not just for Carol Danvers, but for Nick Fury. I mean, the seen it all, done it all, prepared for it all, super spy and the Winter Soldier is cool and all, but he wasn't born like that, any more than Captain America was always the confident leader he becomes by Endgame. That's what we call character growth. We're seeing someone who hasn't been jaded by what he's seen and done, even after being a spy during the Cold War. But folks want to complain that the alien race in the movie is called Kree, not Krill.
Okay, yeah. Well, sorry. We knew it was something.
Whoopsie daisy. Anyway, but folks want to complain that the Kree scan him and say that he's no threat and that he gasp, shock, choke, wash dishes. But honestly, if you want to talk about Nick Fury in this movie, you really need to look at the film's DNA and look at his ancestor, Rennie Harlin's The Long Kiss Goodnight, because there's, unsurprisingly, a lot of parallels there. For the record, I'm saying that these parallels are deliberate references, not weird plagiarism. Part of what makes Captain Marvel fun is that it's shot, written, and structured like a 90s film, and you don't get much more 90s than Shane Black and Rennie Harlin. So, in Long Kiss Goodnight, you have Charlie, an amnesiac housewife who remembers her life when she washed up on shore. Turns out Charlie seems to have some badass skills she never knew about before. Charlie has been trying to figure out who she was with no luck. She tried all the good private detectives and now she's down to the terrible ones, specifically Hennessy, played by Samuel L. Jackson. Thanks to a lucky break found by Hennessy's secretary, they get a clue to Charlie's real identity. So he and Charlie go on a road trip to find these missing links to her life. Then crap, as they say, hits the fan. Turns out Charlie's a former assassin for a black bag CIA program that got broken up and she was never supposed to survive. Now she's starting to get her memory back, etc., etc. Like I said, deliberate parallels, including the one between Hennessy and Fury. Hennessy is a man who's seen some crap and done some crap. He's by no stretch of the imagination a soft guy who's going to fold at the first sign of trouble. But the trouble Charlie represents is way above his pay grade. So it is with Nick Fury. He's been behind the Iron Curtain, he's been a full-bird colonel, but up until the moment someone took a pot shot with a sci-fi gun at a crazy lady in a rubber chute, those were all terrestrial threats. Now he's at ground zero for a space war. But here's the thing. Fury is a survivor and critically a strategic thinker. He knows darn good and well that Carol Danvers knows more about the situation than he does and has skills and power that he can't match. Not letting her take point would be insane. She represents the best, greatest hope of Earth by not getting blown to heck by aliens that nobody believed existed 2 days before. Helping her means an incredibly important ally intel source. Throwing his dick on the table would be the opposite of helping. And yet, despite the fact that Fury is so out of his element in weight class, the dude comes out on top. He survived, which in and of itself is a damn miracle and a testament to his skill as a soldier and covert agent. But he doesn't just survive, he levels up. By the time the third technologically superior alien threat shows up after Thor, he's assembled a strike force capable of turning back an entire freaking alien invasion. All because he's already such a badass that he survived Skrulls, Kree, and a Flurkin. Yeah, the Kree scan him, and the scanner declares him to be a human male with no threat. Diegetically, that's because Kree are arrogant dicks with superior tech, strength, and endurance beyond human capacity. Script-wise, it's dramatic irony based on what we know about his future. And then, hey, that zero-threat human helps curb stomp a superior alien force and comes through without a scratch. The scratch came afterwards. But no, Fury isn't emasculated by anything in this movie. The entire movie shows that he's a calculating strategic genius and a certified badass who's able to follow a near god into battle and come out on top. That's not emasculation. That's ascending to badass normal. So by the time Fury is playing Carfu with Hydra and taking on the Winter Soldier solo, that's all because of his taking multiple levels in badass during his adventures with Carol Danvers. He was smart enough to play support when it was called for, and it paid off in spades. The fact that the universe is going to survive Thanos is directly due to the fact Fury befriended and helped Carol Danvers when he didn't really need to. Saying he's emasculated because he washed some dishes just betrays an utter lack of understanding. In short, dudes had to work to miss literally everything that was laid out in the movie in order to find some material to try to edge their hate boners over, and all they can come up with is this weak stuff. Finn. So, all of this long Twitter thread to say that people were getting butthurt because the Kree said that he was no threat and that he washed some dishes. That was it.
I don't know. I mean, to me, he seemed like he knew what the hell he was doing.
He did.
Yeah.
I mean, he took some really, really smart sidestepping maneuvers, left her by herself, called for what he thought was backup, and didn't know that the Skrull had already replicated his boss, and quickly caught on to that. I mean, he didn't miss one beat, considering everything to this poor guy was completely foreign, never experienced any of this before, had no idea what was going on until, like this dude said, got shot at by some weird space sci-fi weapon. He didn't miss one beat this entire movie. Didn't die, didn't get killed, which is a miracle within itself. But totally did not miss one beat. Caught on exactly when he needed to and everything. So what's the problem here?
The problem is that people are babies.
That's basically the truth.
So are they just saying this just because they feel like
Their butt hurt.
this was some kind of feminist outreach and kissing feminism's butt when this is clearly not the case?
Yeah, I think they're really mad that it comes down to the fact that Captain Marvel is going to be the ultimate savior of everybody in the Endgame. I think that's why they're so mad.
Well, don't know yet. It's not out. Haven't watched it.
Exactly.
Haven't seen it. Don't know.
And even if it was true,
and
even if it's
what's
true,
wrong?
yeah, what's the big deal?
How many times has the Avengers saved the world? How many times has Tony Stark and everybody else come together and done something? Why does it have to be a big deal that somebody else for once has the right answer or the ability to do something they couldn't when they damn well tried?
Like this dude said, she is a near god. The only person who can come even close to the supposed power that she has, I think, is Thor.
Yeah, Thor.
And even he isn't that close.
And Thor, for all practical purposes, basically had it. Just like Thanos said, you should have gone for the head.
Mm-hmm.
After all he went through.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't enough, but look what he has to do to get what he's got. Half the time it was the hammer.
Yeah.
I mean, look how weak he kind of got after Ragnarok when his sister shattered his hammer.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't have really anything to harness his power. She's doing all this crazy stuff, what, like 30 minutes after she realizes what's going on and what her life really is when she's finally getting some of her memories back.
Mm-hmm.
And falling through the sky. Had no idea she could fly. Literally falling to her death, and she picks that up. Literally 20 minutes around, she's flying through spaceships and crap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, that is just pure unchained power right there. 20 minutes after the fact.
Exactly.
What's she going to be like 25 years later? That's what I'm excited to see when it comes to Endgame.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
What else has she learned and harnessed and figured out what she can do and all that stuff?
Well,
I still don't know the means to the end, but I know she's definitely going to be the probably the strength to
Exactly.
overpower everything. I don't know how they're going to do it yet, but
that's right.
I've got no problem with it. I really don't.
So another big thing that came out of the Captain Marvel movie was the fact that Rotten Tomatoes basically did away with pre-release user reviews because of Captain Marvel.
Oh,
Apparently, even before the movie was released, there was 4,500 one-star user reviews for the movie.
Ha!
Yeah.
That's nice. Right now it's
And
sitting at
even
79.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they had,
I mean,
4,900, you said? 1-star reviews?
Yeah.
So
It's still...
This was just people who didn't... Who were acting like a bunch of butthurt.
Exactly, yeah.
Man haters. Not haters. What's the opposite of feminism that they're trying
Misogynist?
to do? Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's still a little bit of a discrepancy between the audience score and the critics score, but
Yeah.
it's not as big as it would have been if the user ratings had stayed before the movie came out.
So did they say that they're just doing it for this movie? Or
No, they did away with it
entirely-
as a whole.
As a whole? Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How long have they been doing this, did they say?
Been doing what?
The pre-release preview.
I think pre-release reviews were a thing forever since Rotten Tomatoes beginning.
Oh, wow.
Had begun. Yeah.
Jeez. So it took one movie and one group of people
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
to completely turn Rotten Tomatoes into shreds because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep. Pretty much.
That is crazy.
Oh, fun.
But I think that does it for the controversy surrounding this movie. There's not really anything else I see that we really need to touch on. That Twitter thread covered most everything that I wanted to talk about. So, yeah. People were getting butthurt over the fact that Nick Fury was seemingly emasculated by this movie, although I don't understand how that's true in the slightest if you've seen any of the other Avengers movies or Marvel movies.
Why are they picking out this one thing? It's crazy.
I mean, this is kind of what you would get with an unseasoned vet. I mean, think about it in real life. How many times do people take charge of situations that they don't know? Like, that's what training at work is about.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. You're never on your A game the first or second time you're exposed to something new and foreign. And don't you dare say that none of that was new and foreign to him. I don't care what the Cold War was about. The Cold War wasn't even an actual war. It was just
exactly.
a giant dick measuring contest between money.
Mm-hmm.
Who can outspend the other one faster? That's all it was about.
It was a war between spies, not a war between armies.
Exactly. So that's a whole different ball game than what was coming after him in Captain Marvel. So
yeah, exactly.
and he obviously grew and adapted to everything in that movie and subsequent movies, because you can't tell me he's not one badass character later on.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though I haven't seen it, I know he is. All right, what else we
people.
got?
The only other thing that I brought would be just different retail stories that we have.
Oh God, here we go.
So
Retail
for privacy's sake, I don't want to mention anywhere that we currently work at. So if the story is from some place that you currently work at, feel free to leave specifics out. But if it's at a previous workplace, then it shouldn't be that big of a deal.
Pretty sure our current workplace has a pretty strict social media policy that
exactly.
some people don't follow as it is, but I'm not giving them any ammo, that's for sure.
Nope.
But Walmart, on the other hand,
Woo!
we can talk about some Walmart.
Oh yes.
You can talk about some funny things.
I think the one thing that stands out to me the most from working at Walmart, I didn't actually see any of this. And David, I'm not talking about the story that you're going to bring up because I know you're going to bring this story up.
I want to hear this.
I don't know if I've ever told Patrick this. This is going to be good.
So,
let's go.
I was working as a cashier at this time, and this was like 6 o'clock in the morning, and some drunk lady came in to the service desk, and apparently just proceeded to try to go to the bathroom right there.
Oh, I didn't hear about this.
Yeah, I don't think she managed to get her pants all the way down, but she was gonna go. She was gonna go for it.
Oh, wow.
I don't want to steal your thunder though, David. Go for it. No. This is hilarious.
That one reminds me of the fitting room incident too. I know we had people use the restrooms in the fitting room.
Oh
Really?
God, yeah, for real.
Oh yeah.
That's disgusting.
It really is disgusting, but not nearly as disgusting as this little jewel right here. Which one should I go for first? The Sharpie incident one, or the?
Just start with whichever one happened first.
I don't remember, so I'm just gonna go in the order I feel like it. Cause what are you gonna do about it? Okay, so before I was a cashier, I worked in maintenance at Walmart, which was nothing but a glorified janitor title. That's all it was. I mean, I knew how to do plenty of other things, like cashiering and customer service and all that crap. So I'm doing my daily rounds, usually checking the restrooms. 5, 6, 7 times a day. If it wasn't on the hour, it was every other hour. It was a lot. And the way our store was set up, we had restrooms in the front, male and female, and then restrooms in the back, male and female, and then one family/unisex restroom that was in the back as well. So I go in there one day. And,
the unisex restroom.
Yes, in the unisex restroom. And they did a really good job with the anti-graffiti fixtures that they put in our restrooms. It was a really nice, like, polished stainless steel or something. It didn't take graffiti very well. Like, you could easily wash it off and it wasn't scratchable at all. So, not many people could figure out how to do it. Well, somebody finally got smart. I guess you could call it smart. I mean, we're talking about vandals here.
Yeah.
Decided that they wanted to, and it had to have been an employee too. It couldn't have been, unless it was just somebody who knew our manager's names, an outside customer. But
I doubt it.
I doubt it was. It had to have been an employee. Wrote on the grout line between the tiles, because the tiles didn't write very well either. But the grout line, apparently, was really good at holding ink. I go in there, and written in the grout line is something about our store manager. I'm not going to say his name. Is fucking, part of my language, people, another assistant manager. It was a female. So I'm not going to say their names, but oh boy. The fun things that they did with that one is like, Well, you know this is an associate, and I tried like scrubbing that off. That thing did not want to come out. I had to do some diligent work to get that out, but not before I took something I shouldn't have done, but took some pictures and saved it for a very select few of people. One of which was Ben. Didn't want to necessarily get in trouble. I reported it to management. That way they at least knew what was going on. But other than that, didn't want to really get in trouble for that. So kind of tried to keep that one hush-hush. I don't know, weeks later, months later, something like that, I go in there again into the unisex bathroom.
Oh, shit.
Going to clean it, and somebody, a male, obviously, had decided that they wanted to sexually relieve themselves.
Oh, my God.
All over the toilet paper holder, on the wall, on the toilet, and on the floor.
What the crap?
So I literally just decided to take a hot, soapy bucket and just threw it up against the wall, wiped down the toilet paper dispenser because I didn't necessarily want to throw a bunch of water at toilet paper, and threw water up on the wall and just literally let it all wash down the drain.
Yeah, I can't fault your tactics there. I wouldn't want to touch it either.
No. Not entirely sure what this person may have had either. God knows what kind of diseases may have been roaming around in that. So, then, this is definitely the last one, the thing that happened last. Again, decided I'd go try to clean the bathrooms one day. And probably the least messiest one out of all this, because I didn't go in there immediately afterwards. But later on during the night, I did, obviously, to make sure everything was fine. Didn't find any evidence of this one. So if I hadn't have seen it, I wouldn't have known it had happened. But a couple of teenagers had decided they'd, I guess, mess around in there as well.
Oh.
A female and a male. So I'll let the audience put two and two together on that one. Never found any evidence, thank God. Didn't see
you saw them
anything on
coming
the
out?
wall, but I did see them coming out. No excretions on the wall this time.
They just wanted to have a good time in the bathroom.
I don't understand what could possibly turn you on at Walmart that you have to get off right then and there.
All those low prices.
You got a full parking lot.
Oh my God. The things at that store.
Let's see. I was at the Walmart in Lewisburg. So, if you look at the right side towards the gas station, I was just driving by. There was a couple of teenagers right underneath the lot having sex in their car.
Just plain view.
Plain view. No tinted windows, nothing. She was going at it.
Couldn't even find a dark spot in the parking lot.
No. They did it right underneath the light. I was like, what the hell?
Oh my God.
That reminds me of my cashier and my cart pusher that got caught in the parking lot in his car doing it.
Really?
Pretty sure they had that on camera too.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. Yeah.
When did this happen?
This was after you were gone. Obviously not going to mention their names either, but they were dating. And apparently they had gotten caught doing the naughty out in the parking lot. And someone,
by
a
customer?
I don't know if it was a customer or an employee or something. The employees knew about it because that's how it got back to me. It's like, did you hear what this so-and-so were doing? It's like, no, what's going on now? It's like, they were supposedly out there having sex in the car. I was like, oh my God. No wonder I don't have any carts in my cart corral. He's too busy accomplishing other goals. Instead of getting
doing
paid
the horizontal
to do his
hokey
job.
pokey.
Yeah, exactly. He's getting paid to screw around, literally.
I mean, gotta repopulate the earth somehow.
That's right.
They had a kid too.
Well, there you
God.
go.
I don't know if it was because of that particular moment or not, but
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it.
Hey, you can tell your kid you were conceived on Walmart time.
I couldn't get paid enough by that job to have any sexual relation in that story whatsoever. Like, good gosh.
Oh my god, that's too good.
Alright, next one. You've got to have another one.
Let me think. Is there any left from Walmart? I can't really remember a whole lot that happened from Walmart besides what you mentioned. That's like what I remember the most.
Well, unfortunately, it's so many
Yeah.
years ago. It's what, like 4 years ago now?
Yeah, I only worked there for like a year. I've been at this job longer than I have that one.
No, you were there longer than a year. You were there a year before I was there.
Was I?
And
I don't know.
You were there about a year after I lasted about a year longer than you did because they got rid of us both around the same time, which I think somebody was cooking books or something.
Probably.
Looking to cut payroll.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Even though we didn't get paid that much.
Oh, yeah, really. Get paid more.
I
got paid more within six months at my current job than I did at Walmart.
Yeah, exactly. Same.
For a lower position.
Yeah, exactly.
Wasn't even a supervisor or anything. I haven't even been in a supervisor position at my current workplace.
Not yet.
And
Hopefully
I'm making
never.
more money. Oh, please God.
Dang.
Well, it would require. Well, one of them would require. It wouldn't even be a pay raise either. That's the one thing that I definitely wouldn't do it. One of them would require working with my favorite person in the world. Both of you know who that is. I'm not going to say her name anymore.
Yes.
Just in case
Nope.
somebody from work happens to listen to this.
Oh, well.
Exactly.
Don't want to name names, but you both know
Exactly.
who I'm talking about. I've mentioned that person plenty of times. But no, I'm perfectly fine with not having to deal with that.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that there's anything from Walmart, and I don't know if there's anything. There might be one thing that I can tell. It was a long time ago, so yeah, I'm gonna say it. I may as well. So this was when I worked up front as a supervisor. I was manning customer service, and there was this lady out in the garden center that had the gall to call the service desk from her personal cell phone to let me know that the lines out there were too long and that I should send more people out there to check people out. Not understanding that I had the max amount of people that I could out on those cash registers. So I was like, there's nobody else I can send out there. I have no more people. Well, you need to get somebody out here. Click.
Well, how many people were out there? Because you can only have 2 registers on one gate.
Yeah, there was 2 people out there, and I didn't have it. I didn't.
One, and that means you have to have another supervisor out there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You got both gates out there open,
and we didn't have enough people to do that.
Yeah.
So I hung up on her once. She calls again. I hung up on her again. She calls a third time. And by this time, she's a little pissed, as she has a right to be. So I hang up on her again. and then she comes into the store.
Oh, here we go.
Next to the service desk.
Here we go.
And this was with what am I trying to say? An assistant store manager that is no longer at the store. He gets called up there, and she's going off saying that somebody at the service desk kept hanging up on her, blah 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 blah. And he sits there and says, "Ma'am, there's nobody at that service desk that would do that to you. I have no idea what you're talking about." And sends her away. He sends her away. So I get away with hanging up on this lady 3 times in a row.
Oh my god.
Oh, it was the best feeling in the world, let me tell you.
I mean,
Oh
when
my God.
Nobody would understand this unless you've worked retail or you worked with the customers in public. There is no better feeling in the world than telling a customer no.
Oh.
Or screwing them somehow, some way, even if it's sleight of hand or something, and having a manager back you up.
That's
Exactly.
totally right.
Because it's usually they go over and beyond every policy that there ever is that you've tried to state. Oh, it's just for the customer. We'll do it this one time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, make me feel like I'm 5 inches tall. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The great thing about being a retail associate is that there's this little thing that everybody knows about, whether you use this moniker or not, called the asshole tax. Excuse my language. If you are a genuinely nice person, I will work my butt off to try and do whatever I can for you.
Yep, I'm the same.
But if
way.
you're a jerk,
Mm-hmm.
you can expect nothing. You can expect nothing. In fact, you can expect less than nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I will give you the crap out of my pants, and that's all. And I might not even give you that.
Oh crap.
So yeah. Anyway, I think
us.
that's what I've got as far as work stories go. Do you have anything that you want to share, Patrick? That you can share?
Well, yes, I can.
Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen.
From Applebee's. So when I was going through management training, I was working with the host.
No, keep going.
And they had this new hoe. It was our second night. And I asked her to go clean the bathrooms. She came back. She said, "There's a tampon." I was like, "Okay, let's go look at this." Let me tell you, this customer took that tampon, blood all over the walls.
Oh no.
The toilet, the floor.
Oh,
It's like they
God.
played with it. And she's like, how do I clean this up? And what is that?
Pressure washer.
I was like, oh crap. I was like, really? So I had to have a talk with her and tell her what this stuff was.
Excuse me?
Yes.
Wait, she actually didn't know?
No, she was that, well, I don't want to be rude, but stupid.
Naive?
Yes.
Putting it nicely. Was she 12 years old? Has she not gone through this stage of life yet?
I don't know. But she, so I went and got a mop and bucket and bleach and hot water. I was like, here you
Oh
go.
my God.
So I got the other host to go help her clean it. She came back. The other host came back crying to me. She's like, do I really have to do this? I was like, yes. She's like, no, I'm not doing it. Well, then I guess you're going home.
Oh, Savage, you've got no sympathy for this person. She pissed you off that day or something? He wasn't having it.
I was just like, you got to do your job. If you don't want to do your job, there's the computer, clock out, go home.
There you go. We all do things that we don't want to do.
I was
That's
like,
right.
I got paperwork I got to do.
No. Jeez.
But it was a weird talk with that girl. Not what I wanted.
I always hated having to clean the women's restrooms. I'm sorry.
Maybe
They were always nastier and dirtier than the men's room ever got.
That
I don't
is
understand.
completely right. It's disgusting. Completely.
And it's not even just the sanitary products. It's everything. They'll have toilet paper all over the floor. It's like, what's wrong with you? Like, legit. was always worse in the women's room, and I never could figure it out. Whether it be toilet paper or paper towel or whatever, just all over the place. It's like, what's wrong
It's like,
with you?
how the hell do you pee behind the toilet?
Squatting.
Like,
Squatting.
really?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Same people that manage to defecate loosely all over the back of the seat,
Yeah.
all over the toilet, handles, wall, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Again, mop bucket, big bucket of water just sloshed up against the wall and let it go down the drain.
Ugh.
And there's one more thing that I could never understand. In the men's bathroom, on the urinal, on the very top, everybody would pee up there. Like, what the crap?
I don't understand
Like-
how you could get up that high. I mean, what are these 7-8 foot monsters? Just
I
Like-
guess so.
where their John just happens line up with the top of the toilet, like.
I guess so.
Because I'm sorry, mine isn't that long when it's like that. Like, how do you accomplish that?
They're standing back like 3-4 feet and just aiming for the handle.
Yeah, that must be. Oh goodness.
Disgusting.
Yeah, men can't aim. That is for sure. But
Yeah.
we can
Yeah.
attest to that.
I do my best.
Sometimes your best isn't good enough,
This is a good point.
especially during certain circumstances, like mornings.
Now my aiming's the best when I'm drunk. That's sad.
How does that happen?
I don't know. I'm at my best when I'm drunk.
Wow. I think some people can drive better when they're drunk too. I don't.
We're not
I don't
advocating drunk
understand.
driving.
No, absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not. But I swear, some people manage it, and some people manage to just stay drunk all day, and even at places of work, and still don't manage to get fired.
Yeah.
That means you've been.
Yeah, that's right. I'm drunk 24/7, 365.
It's
Four
about time
Loko.
you admitted it. You alcoholic.
That's right.
Oh,
No,
shit.
he's probably the one that drinks the least out of all of us.
Smoke alcohol every day.
Is it 420 yet?
No. Oh, let me
Not
tell
quite.
you.
All right, what else we got?
So today at my job, which I can't name, we have this one employee who's been there for over 20 years. So he hasn't been laid in like a year and a half.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, no.
Here we go.
This guy comes in today, happy as all can be, not
Yep.
sober, not drunk.
Oh.
He usually comes in drunk every single day. I was like, we were all like, what's wrong with you? He's like, I got laid last night. You were like, what the fuck? You're a different person. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
That's
poor
bad
guy.
when you can tell.
He was happy as can be. Smiling and everything.
It's terrible.
Wow.
So for his birthday, it's coming up on Monday.
Oh, here we go.
We all order from
Blood.
Amazon a chocolate dick. No shit.
Wow.
It cost us $45, but it's so worth it. So now on
I
Tuesday.
gotta look this thing up. Google's
So now
gonna be
on
like, what the
Tuesday.
hell?
So now on Tuesday when he comes back, we're gonna give it to him, and he's got to eat it.
Oh, no.
So it's actual chocolate then.
Yeah, it's actual chocolate in the form of a dick.
Wow. What's the dimensions on this thing?
Yep. That's it. Eat a dick.
Currently unavailable. You bought the last one.
I guess so.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh jeez.
5 ounces of solid milk chocolate penis in a box. That's it.
Oh my god. All right. Okay, I think that's where we're gonna leave this one, guys.
No, we're gonna read the product description real quick.
Oh, okay. Do it.
100% anonymously sent and 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Handmade gourmet chocolate, kosher, delicious, and made in America. Featured on Huffington Post, Reddit, The Chive, College Humor, Lad Bible, and Fail Blog. 5 ounces solid milk chocolate peanuts in a box that says "Eat a dick" on the inside. Free insulated delivery during summer months. Your dick won't melt.
Yes. And that came United States Post Mail today.
All right.
God.
This is what capitalism is all about.
Yes, right there. 5 ounces of chocolate. I wonder how many Hershey bars that takes.
I don't know. That's probably quite a few Hershey bars.
Yeah.
Sorry, Hershey. We didn't mean to slander you like that. I'm sure somebody else's chocolate was used for that. Lovely product.
All right, guys. I think that's where we're going to end it now that we've gone through the product description of the chocolate deck.
1.55 ounces, about 5.37 inches long, and 2.13 inches wide and a quarter inch thick. That's what a Hershey's bar is, so.
Amazing. So it's like, what, 5 Hershey's bars almost?
Basically.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's a lot of Hershey.
Oh my god. Okay. Well, I think that's it for this one, guys. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
guys. Wow.
Podcast Period is produced, edited, and hosted by me, Ben, and co-hosted by David. Thanks to Patrick for being our guest this week. Special thanks to Dr. Nerdlove on Twitter for the thread we read, and to Vox for the article on the controversy surrounding Captain Marvel. You can find me on Twitter at BenPlaysVidyass, that's BenPlaysVidyass. You can find David on Twitter at Car6x16, and you can find Patrick on Twitter at PatrickHRTMN13. You can contact the show on Twitter at Podcast Period or at podcastperiodpodcast@gmail.com. That's all for this week. Thanks for listening.